What's good, everybody? What's good? So, gather around and we finna run it down and have this conversation. We're gonna be talking about some of the most iconic movie villains of all time. Yep, the most iconic villain movies of all time, the ones that we love, from small independents to cult movies to big budgets. We finna discuss all our great iconic villains who we love. Also, before I dive into this, I want y'all to know that if it's somebody that you feel like that was left off this list, let me know. Leave the comments down there so we can talk about it. But this is just the first part. We're gonna be doing more videos about this. So, without further ado, let's get into it. Number one, show enough. That's right. Am I the meanest? Am I the prettiest? Am I the baddest mofo low down around this town? Show enough. The Last Dragon. Now, some people may ask, why did I put Show Enough up in here as most iconic villains? Because Show Enough is an iconic villain. The movie The Last Dragon, I'm sorry, but look, the movie The Last Dragon is not, I wouldn't even say it's a cult classic. I would just say it's a hit movie. It's one of those hit movies that everybody loved back then when it came out in the 80s, even still to this day. If it comes on streaming, if it comes on TV, you're going to watch it. You're definitely going to watch it. And not only that, but sure enough, to me, what makes a good iconic villain is not the stuff that he is the overall, not the stuff that he does, but the things that he says. You know, when you put those two together, you got a great iconic villain. And sure enough definitely is one of those iconic villains because in the movie, he just had so many memorable lines, that introduction, especially when he went to the dojo and told Bruce Leroy, "Kiss my Converse." You was sitting there like, "What? Kiss my Converse?" Like, is this dude tripping? So like I said, Julius Carrier, rest in peace. He played the hell out that part. Last Dragon, the Last Dragon, without Show Enough, would not have been the hit that everybody loved. So they got to give Show Enough his props. And if you all haven't seen The Last Dragon, check this movie out. And I'm telling you, you're definitely going to love it. And you're definitely going to see what I am talking about. The next one, The Usual Suspects Kaiser Sose. This is one of my favorite movies. I love this movie. I can sit here and watch The Usual Suspects all day, just like The Last Dragon. I love this movie. Kevin Spacey played the hell out this part, gave a hell of a performance. And the thing about his character, the Kaiser Sose character, was that it was so much mystery surrounding him because you heard about him through the movie, even the criminals in the underworld heard about him, but had never seen him. You saw his work, but you had never seen him. And that police station scene at the end, man, that's one of those scenes that you just sit there and you just have to you just in shock because how he sat there and just made up the whole story from things that he saw on the wall up in there. And then when he walked out, by the time Chaz Palminteri character, he figured it out, he was already gone. And when he told the story about who who Kaiser Sose was, how he came into power, talking about himself, just all the things that he done, how he moved in that movie, it was just so iconic. And how he went undercover. This whole time, the old goofy looking guy who you saw up in the movie Kevin Spacey played, Verbal Kent, just being the cripple, and how people was pushing him around and doing all those things. And the whole time, none of them knew that Kaiser Sose, the devil, was with them that whole time. Never knew that. Never knew that. But towards that end, when they was on that boat and he started taking them out, that's when they realized it. So Kevin Spacey, Kaiser Sose, definitely iconic villain. Number 3. Oh yeah, old Jack. Jack Nicholson as the Joker. Where did they get a load of me? Batman that came out in '89, still one of my favorite Batman movies. Michael Keaton is always going to be my Batman. Jack Nicholson is always going to be my Joker next to Heath Ledger. But Jack Nicholson gave a hell of a performance as the Joker. Because if they did not have Jack as the Joker, that Batman wouldn't have went anywhere. Jack held that role down, especially as his punchlines and the things that he did up in there. You know, when he burnt the guy up with the joy buzzer and was like, Antoine got a little hot under the collar. Then when he shot up his boss, to even when he went up against Batman, when they was up on the church, on the top of the church fighting, and he put them glasses on and told Batman, you wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you? So, man, it was just Jack, man, just gave, like I said, just a hell of a performance as the Joker, held it down. You know, even still to this day, when you watch that Batman, you just sit back and laugh because Jack as the Joker, ain't nothing more I can say about that. Next one, Fatal Attraction, Glenn Close. Now I know some of y'all wondering why would you put Glenn Close on here for iconic villains? Have you seen Fatal Attraction? The stuff that she did up in there? Glenn Close, when this movie came out, she scared the shit out of a lot of men. Women too, but a lot of men. This was way before all the little movies that y'all see now about these crazy women now stalking men. Fatal Attraction was the first one to do that. I would say next to Clint Eastwood's Play Misty for me. And I'm going to talk about that in another video. But Fatal Attraction, this was the movie. Because, you know, when you see Glenn Close's character, you like, okay, is this and that. You know, she seems cool, whatever. You know, then when her and Michael Douglas get together, after Michael Douglas hit that, that's when it slowly started to come out. And the things that she did was, you know, when she cut her wrist, to when she was kept calling his phone. And one of the most iconic lines that she said up in that movie when Michael Douglas went to go see her, and she was like, well, you changed your number, you don't accept my calls at work, you doing this. She was like, oh, I'm not gonna be ignored then. When she said that line, it was just like, because we all know, especially men, that if you want to piss a woman off, ignore her. When you start ignoring a woman, oh yeah, she's gonna get very pissed off because she don't want you. She hates to be a woman hates to be ignored. And in this case, when he did that, he just set it off on top of him doing other stuff. She kidnapped his daughter, but then one of the things that really took it to the next level was when she boiled his daughter's rabbit. You was just like, come on, Glenn. The rabbit ain't do nothing to you. You had to boil the rabbit and set it on a pot on the stove cooking. That was just like, whoa. This chick is crazy. Well, I wouldn't even say crazy because the stuff that she was doing crazy was an understatement. She was just a whole nother level. So Glenn Close, Fatal Attraction, yep, another iconic villain. The last one, Goodfellas, Joe Pesci. Well, you think I'm a clown? You think I amuse you? You say I'm funny. Funny how? Goodfellas, classic movie. Joe Pesci as Tommy definitely held that movie down because Tommy was just that loose cannon that did not care who it was, what he did, who he did it to. He didn't care. Everybody was scared of Tommy. Even Polly told the guy in the restaurant, he was like, hey, Tommy's a bad seed. But the things Joe Pesci did in this movie, the iconic lines that he had, definitely put him on that iconic villains list because he did not care. Killed Billy, he beat up and stabbed Billy Bats till when he whacked the restaurant owner with the bottle. But then one of the things that got me was that when he killed Spider, the guy when they was at the card game, Spider, it was like, Tommy, come on. It's like when Glenn Close boiled a rabbit. It was like, come on, Joe, come on. Like, Tommy, come on, man. You shot Spider. Now, I can kind of get where he was like when Spider told him, hey, go fuck yourself. You know, but then, you could have beat Spider up or something, but you had already shot him in the foot, but then you just turned around and killed him. And then when he said, I don't care, he's a rat. He said his whole family is rats. He gonna grow up to be a rat. It was like, wow, this dude is just wow. But when they got Tommy, when they killed him, y'all had to admit, because we felt some type of way when they killed Tommy. Because even though Tommy did a lot of bogus stuff to a lot of people, but we didn't want to see him go out like that. We didn't want to see him go out because we just thought like, okay, Tommy may make it through here. But it was like, hey, like they said in the movie, it was revenge for Billy Batch and a lot of other stuff. They had to get rid of Tommy. But Joe Pesci in that role, next to in Casino, definitely held it down, man. Definitely held it down. So these are my top movie iconic villains. But as I said, this is just part one. I'm going to be doing some other ones as well. So I know some people may have some thoughts about this or may feel some type of way, but let me know. Y'all leave y'all thoughts and comments down and let me know, do you agree with this list or who you feel should be on the next list? Let's make it happen. Like, comment, subscribe. Stay tuned.